Hi, this is Paula coming back with video number 4 on the glitter lips tutorial. In the previous videos, we went over separating the lips into sections, doing some basic color changes, like here, where we just added the lips and just made some basic color changes. But in this one, we'll be adding textures and photographs to the lips. Now, adding textures to the lips can be done 3 different ways. 1, photo frame. 2, being clipping or cropping to an item. And the third one being the use of graphic styles. So first I'm going to go over converting an image to a frame and adding your textures that way. Using a frame is how I created this set of lips with the puppy dog in it. Now, creating frames from objects is very easy. It's just a matter of coming up to the Tools tool. You want to take your item, convert it to a picture, and once it's converted to a picture, you can go to your tools again, and the option to convert the frame has appeared. And now you just click that, convert the frame. Now this object is a frame. You could just pull your images into it. Also, once you have this as a frame, you can come over into your frames section and just pull that in there, and it'll be available as part of your DigiKit at another time as long as you save it. Okay, now that you have your image in the lips, again, it's just a matter of adding an effect to add dimension to it. Those teeth back in. And you can also layer your lips if you wish to have that glitter trail. And just be sure to resize it to make it fit well. Now, you could do the same thing with the two-part lip. Cut all of this. Here I have that upper and lower lip. I'm just going to select these and make them a little bit larger. Again, convert the picture. Just hit OK. No need to make any changes. And under Tools, convert the frame. I'm going to do the same thing with the lower lip. Convert the picture. Convert the frame. And I'm going to pull it over into my frames tabs just so I have it for use later on. Now, when you're using a frame, it allows you to adjust the picture within the frame using these three icons. So I'm going to drag my dog into this upper lip, and if I hit select cropped item, that's going to let me move the photo around, and I can even enlarge it. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do there. And then separately, I'm going to drag the photo into the lower lip and do the same thing. Select cropped item. I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to move the picture around. This way so I don't have so much of the dog body in there. I can put these two together, group them. I can add some dimension to it. Again, add that background. Send it to the back. And maybe change the color of the glitter in the back. And I forgot the teeth. You can also add more effects to this by, again, using the right mouse key clicking, going down to FX, which is filter effects. If you hit this little arrow, it'll make the image fly out. And you could add some more dimension to the lips by just playing around with different options on here. Okay, again, just playing with the effects, that's going to give you a different look. And again, changing the background image is simple. It's just dragging your photo in there. Okay, the second way of doing this is using the cropping tool. And what it is down here under arrange, you have more options. Let me pull my lips on here and we'll get started. Okay. Now that the lips are on here, I have a highlighted option. Okay. Now, the options are crop to top, crop to bottom, clip to top, clip to bottom. And this is another way, again, to fill the image Now, once we add our lips to the page, we have more options. And this one right here is our cropping tool. Now, the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the background of the image that I want onto the page as well. So if I use this Gucci wallpaper, I'm going to send it back. And I'm going to select both items. And I'm going to crop to the top item. So there we are. We have our lips filled in with the Gucci pattern. I'm going to undo this. How this one also helps, as does the filling with the photo, is that you can resize. You can resize your background to get more detail, and you can move your image around and get the exact placement you want. Now I'm going to crop the top. And there's my Gucci logo. Now this also works well for the football teams. And what you want to do is you can make your own background. And what I've done is I've gone online The third way to fill the lips in with an image is the use of a graphic style. Now, I'm pulling in the open lips again. And as discussed in an earlier video, this one is still as a photo. I have my photo lab listed here, and my fill here is transparent. I'm going to copy this and paste it. And this one, I'm going to use the tools and I'm going to convert it to curves. Now on this right toolbar under styles, the program comes loaded with a variety of styles. I'm just going to pull my styles tab out. These are floating tabs, so you can move them to different locations and you can resize them. Try this again. Now this particular folder is named Paula Styles, and these are just styles that I've created for myself, and it's very easy to create styles within the program. But you have a multitude of styles already loaded within the program. Some of these I created, so my screen will not look exactly like yours. But these are going to add like instant effects to your objects. And you have like edges. Some will just change the edges. We have instant effects. And these are all graphic styles, and these are going to make, again, changes to your object. So let me see if I can put this back. And say this is a style that's plastic. And sometimes on the graphic styles, whether it's your original is a photo or a curve, sometimes you get different effects. So there's no like rule to when you use a photo or when you use a curve. So it's just something that you're going to have to play around with. And sometimes like this one, I went to go change the style. And what I would have to do is go into filter effects. And sometimes you have to remove the old styles to get the new items to show up. Now, creating graphic styles are very easy, and like I always say, this is my most favorite thing in the program. Get rid of this. Now, I'm going to create a Gucci graphic style, and it's just as simple as taking either a photo, a piece of digital paper, even artwork that you draw yourself. You're going to take it under Tools, Convert to Picture, under Tools, Convert to Curves, and then under Format, you can create graphic style. So I'm going to name this one Gucci 2. I'm going to put it under My Styles. And then as your preview, you can have the option to use any of these items, I prefer to use a rectangle. It just helps me um, see the item better. And then when I hit OK, when I go back over here and I go into Paula Styles, my Gucci 2 is going to be there. This is Gucci 2. This is one I already had. This is the one we just created. Now I'm going to get rid of that. And once you have a graphic style, you can just fill any object with it. I'm getting rid of these two. So now I'm going to pull the lip up. This one, I pulled it in. This is still as a photo. Now the style has been applied, but for the coloring, you really can't see the style in the background. So what I found is if you pull it over, tools, convert it to curves, then fill with the graphic style. You'll need less adjustment. It's more easy to view. The thing with the graphic style is if you want to have a larger pattern, then you're going to have to recreate your graphic style and make the pattern larger. Unlike when you do it with a crop to or using a photo where you can take that photo and adjust the size for the pattern and the placement. That might be one time where using a photo frame or even cropping is more advantageous to your design. And again, just add a little dimension to it. Now, the beauty of the graphic styles, once they're created, it's just a click. Now I have like a Miami Dolphin style. I'm going to add my glitter back to it. Now, this one is coming in with the black because this one here, I still have it as a photo versus having it as a curve. Now I'm going to pull this one back in. I'm going to go to my tools, convert it to a curve, and then fill it with the same graphic style. And let me get my teeth. It's a little lost in there. I'm going to send this one to the back. Okay. And now you have your lips sitting on top of the glitter. And again, you can go back add a shadow to it. Make your lips stand out a little more. Get rid of all of this. Now, when it comes to particular teams, if you get the team logo, okay, now we're going to go through the steps on how to create a lip with a logo attached to it. Earlier I did this one with Alabama, and I've also done say this one for the Eagles. This one was using a graphic style, which I was not crazy about at all, but we'll still go through the steps. This one is the single lip using that same graphic style. Okay, so I'm coming back to this clean page. Get rid of this. And how I'm starting is I'm just going to pull in the separated upper and lower lip. I'm going to take these and I'm going to convert them to curves. And I know they're a curve because they're here. Now, to start with the new design for it, I have this logo for the Dallas Cowboys. And it's on a white background. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean it up. I'm going to take it in the Cutout Studio. And I'm going to remove the white portion. I messed up, so I went too far, so I'm going to go back and put this in. I'm going to preview it. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to say OK. So now I have the Cowboys logo with no white border around it. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to pull it into my embellishments tab so I could have it if I want to use it later on. I'm just going to get rid of this. Now say I want my lips to be gray with the Dallas Cowboys emblem on top. So I'm going to start with the shape. I had that selected, so that was wrong. So let me undo that. Make sure I'm clicking off of this. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my shapes. I don't have a color in here, so I'm going to do a color fill to a gray. That's not really the gray I want. If I take it to black and I hit more, I can expand and I could see more colors. I could even take this black and pull it down into here, and I could pick up another gray. But I'm just going to take this gray. You can see it changed on my screen here. So I'm going to hit OK. Picking up my selection tool again, I'm going to the Dallas Cowboy emblem. I'm going to send this square to the back. And now I could either just copy and paste the Dallas Cowboys emblem, paste and move. Or I can use this stamp tool, and this will just allow me to move my mouse around and just stamp. Then go to my selection tool. I can make it smaller and use the stamp tool again and just go around. Now I stamped a whole lot extra, but I'm just going to use what's in this section of my gray square. So I'm going to go to my select tool. I'm going to group these items, move those over, and just get rid of some of this extra stuff. Still have my lips here. Now that I have this group, I'm going to use my tools. I'm going to convert it to a picture. And I am going to crop it. But before I crop it, I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it because I want to show you how to do this two different ways. So if I hit the crop tool, I can just go in here and move into the shape that I want. And there it is. I'm done. I have Dallas Cowboys background. On this one, I can get there just about the same way if I use a punch. Now, again, the program comes preloaded with a lot of different shapes for punches and items, animals, tags. So go over into your punches and just take a look around at the different types of things that you have available. And then also for every punch, there's a matching stencil. Okay, but now going back to this, we're going to use a punch, and I want a shape. I'm going to use a square. If I pull this onto my page, size it, hit punch, now I can get rid of this, get rid of my punch, and again I have this shape that was cut out. Now I can take this, again going back up here, converting to curve, and then right clicking, create graphic style. I can create a style from that object that we just drew. So I'm going to call this one Cowboys. Again, I prefer a rounded rectangle, and it's going to be in Paula Styles. So I'm going to say OK. Now here's that lip. Here's my cowboy style. These larger. And I've created the Dallas Cowboy football lips. Just need to resize them and line them up properly. I keep coming back to this material depth key because it's just the quickest and easiest way to add some dimension to the lips. But usually I would go into my filter effects and play with it more. And again, by adding effects to it, you'll get an entirely different look. And honestly, you just need to get in here and play and make your changes and find some styles that you like. Okay, Dallas Cowboys, and again, this effect was done using a graphic style. Get rid of all of this. Now, that paper or this image that we made, we can do the lips again using the crop to feature. I'm going to select both of these, going down to arrange, and we're going to crop it to the top item. That gives us the Dallas Cowboy lip. We would do the same thing for the upper lip. Now again, this one was a photo. This one was a curve. Bring this back in. Going to convert it to a curve. Go here. Use my formatting tool. And it just copies the style from one to the other. This was it copied onto a photo, a picture, and this one was it copied as a graphic style. I'm sorry, this is the one that was copied onto a curve. Not using a graphic style, but using the image that we created. Another way to do this is say I just take 3 images and I'm going to line them up, and I'm going to put a shape behind them, another square, I had to select on this one, so when I wouldn't change the color, it changed that, which is not what I meant to do. So I'm going to key off, make sure I have nothing selected. Now I'm going to go to shape. I want to make sure that I have my color here instead of the graphic style fill. I'm going to send it to the back. I'm going to group these. Now taking the lip, I can crop to the top. And create another cowboy lip that way. And the last one was the using the photo frame again. So what I would do here is I could take this pattern that we created, under File, I'm going to export it. I'm going to export it as a picture. Now it can do the whole page or the selected items. I just want this particular item saved as a picture, so I'm going to export it. I'm going to call this one Cowboys. I'm saving it in a folder where I will be able to find it. Now I'm going to add a photo. Here's that cowboy image we just saved. And now that I have it as a photo, if I didn't save my lip frame. Okay. So if I take my lip, tools, convert the picture, Tools, convert to frame. Now this is a frame. I could take the photo, drag it right in there. And I have more control over the placement of where the image begins and also the size. Once I have that, again, I can start adding some dimension to it. Let me use this bottom lip. Tools. Gonna convert it to picture. Convert to frame. Take my image and drag it right in there. And make the adjustment as to where I want it positioned. And this one was done using the photo frame technique. I'm going to send this one to the back. Resize it. And then recolor that background. Make it a little more interesting. Get rid of all of this. Now, these graphic styles can be made from anything, or like I said, you can make them yourself. This graphic style is that sunset made from a photograph. This is how it shows up on an item that's still as a picture. And this one, I'm going to convert it to curves. And this is how the same image shows up when it's as a curve. And again, just add a little detail to it. This one is the Texas Titans. This style is just some stripes that I made up within the program. And then if you don't want to use the team's logos, but you just want to use their colors, then this is how this was done. Again, this one is when it's a photo. Your whites are always going to come in gray. Sometimes I really do like that effect, but then if I want the true white, I'm going to convert it to the curves and add my graphic style. Teeth. I'm going to group these. Send it to the back. And just resize it. This is it as a picture. The glitter hang down here. That's it as a picture, just colored red. This is it with the graphic style added to it. When it's still in the picture form, so I have silver here. And the last one, if I convert it to curves, then I have the red, white, and blue hanging. And what I would also do is adjust this so that my upper and lower stripes line up evenly. Filter effects. You can add more detail. The reason why I keep trying to go through this like kind of quickly is because I get distracted and I enjoy this and I like to play with different features. And so I'll keep making changes and not really paying attention to what I'm doing. And the best way to learn this is, again, just keep going in there and just playing. Okay. And I have to stop for a minute and let my computer catch up, because sometimes when I start clicking very quickly and switching around, I will get lag, or I will crash the program sometimes. So that does happen. Now I'm going to go in here and just add a few more filter effects. And the best way to do this is honestly just to come in here, spend some time, and play. Look at the different features, try different combinations, and you can get in here and just keep trying things, and next thing you know, a couple of hours have passed. I'm just gonna change a few things up. But you can see just how moving things around that we're getting a different look. I happen to like this. Okay, and that's just, one more look to the lips. And this would also come out differently if I had had them ungrouped, and I don't know if you noticed it, but that line that was there is gone. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of a lot of the stuff on this page. And I'm just going to show some more of the filter effects. This is like, again, the Miami Dolphins. And if I go here to some of the preset items we have, I don't know if you could see it, but it did change the edge here using that inner bevel. And I'm just going through this to show that you don't always have to go through the effects key. You don't have to go through this, or you don't have to go through the graphic style every time to add some features to your items. This was simply a pillow effect and then adding some depth to it. some more styles. This is something that was created within the program, actually using the effects key. That's that same picture of the dog. I'm going to go here to effects, and I'm going to remove all these extra. Okay. This one is just a rainbow pattern. This one is just a combination of bevels and a glitter paper. Also within the program, let me go over here to the stencils. I'm just going to bring out a shape. And this is also something that I covered in another video. But this is just to give you an idea of how you can create more of your own content from within the program. With the styles, there's also an option for brushes. And if you go to glitter, you could pick up different glitter styles. Red. I'm going to go with the turquoise. And then if you select your brush here, it's going to give you a brush size. And for this, I like to go with larger. I have to make sure I have this selected. I didn't have it selected here. I had a regular brush selected. So let me undo. Okay, now I'm going to go with my brush stroke. I'm going to lift this stencil. And so now I have this perfect glitter square. I'm going to pull it over to my embellishment so I could have it to use later. I'm also going to pull it into my materials. Again, saving it for later, and into my background. You know, I'm going to change this one. Now, you could take this and you can just change your colors, and this way you could build yourself a collection of different glitter papers. But what I'm going to do is, I had this red glitter paper, and I used this football team logo. And again, I stamped it. Just stamped it. Okay, I'm going back to my selection tool. Let me make my screen a little bit smaller. I'm going to group these. Convert the picture. Convert the curves. And I'm going to create a graphic style. And this is another Bama call this Bama 5. Okay, and this one is going under Paula Styles again. Now, bringing the lip in, I got rid of my single lip, so without the teeth. So let me add that. Okay, now I have the lip. Get rid of some of this stuff. Going to Paula Styles, and my Bama 5 should be here. Again, this is it. On a photo, I'm going to bring this in, enlarge it, convert the curves, and add it. And I just want to show you this time, this is how we got the glitter lips. And for this one, for the look that I want, this is when I would leave my spray as a picture and just change the color. And send it to the back. And there's my red spray. And there it is, ready for print. But actually I would take the time and line these sides up more properly and make sure I had everything fitting tightly, and then I'm ready to print. Okay, I think I'm going to stop this video here. I wanted to make one more to show a few more advanced techniques, and then also to show you how to clean up your images and how again to layer the images so you finish with a cleaner product, and how to make a cleaner image if you wanted to use this as a cut file to use with, say, the Silhouette or even your Cricut. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please contact me, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.